Hi everyone, welcome to NDVA educational YouTube channel. Today our Python program was arithmetic operators. So we all know that what are the arithmetic operators, basic arithmetic operators. We can say sum and subtraction, multiplication, division. These four are the basic arithmetic operations. So coming to this program, first I will read the program requirement. After that we can develop code line by line. Here they provided a task, so I will read this task. The provided code stub reads two integers from standard input a and b. Here this line meaning was our code contains two integers, one is a and another is b. These two are integers. And coming to the next line, add code to print three lines for. So here they mentions we need to add these three lines in our code. So I will read these lines one by one. Here the first one was, the first line contains the sum of the two numbers. So basically they ask us to perform sum operations in the first line. So in the second line it is also similar to the first line. Here in the second line they ask us to perform difference, first number minus second number. So difference basically means in our arithmetic operation terminology subtraction. And coming to the final condition, the third line contains the product of the two numbers. It means we need to multiply these two numbers. That output will be printed in third line. This is our program requirement. After reading the program requirement, it is better to go through how they are taking example for this program requirement, and input, how they taken as input, and how they printed output in the output result. So that is better and helpful for us to understanding the program requirement betterly. So coming down here in this example, these two integer, they mention a and b are integers, right? So in this integers they take, actually this is the variable, so don't confuse. This is the variable. So this variable stores integer value. They mentions these two are integers, means these two variables stores integer values, not float values, not string values. They particularly mention reads two integer values, means these two variables stores integer values. Here 3 is integer, right? 5 also integers. So a stores integer value, b stores integer value. This is the meaning for the first line. And according to the three conditions, so they perform the operations by using this input. We all know that we can in any scenario we need to take input. For that input only we can derive the output. So here in this input they used first three numbers sum. So 3 plus 5 equal to 8. And coming to the second line of the code, they ask us to perform subtraction. So 3 first minus second, right? 3 minus 5 minus 2. And coming to the third line, they ask product operation. So basically product means multiplication. So 3 multiply with 5, 15. This is the program requirement. We need to take input as like this. So coming to the down also, we can exactly know input we need to take as any two numbers line by line. And after that we need to print our output also line by line. So I will explain code, how to develop code. First I will read the integer values. As I explained in the previous videos, I already explained how to read integers and how to read string values and how to read float values. Float values I didn't explain, but in replacing int with float, that is the syntax for reading the float values. So I will explain here that also. Basically I will take a as variable to store the integer value for first number. A equal to int input of. This is the format, or this is the syntax. We can read any integer values. So here int provided, right? Instead of int, if we can provide float, so this variable only accept float values. As of now, this condition, this syntax, this variable only accepts integer value. This is the meaning for this line. And coming to the second line, they ask to take two integer values, right? So this is the input format. This line completed. So I develop code for this line, and I was taking a line for this input format line, and coming second line also we need to take same code. Like here first integer, we need to take second integer. So I will directly copy this, I will paste here. So I will change the variable name. So first line reads one variable, second line also reads the variable. This is the in our example, in first line reads this integer, second line in this integer. Here we need to remember one point. This integer may read any number. So 1, 2, 1 lakh, 2 lakhs, any number it will be read. But why here only provided 3, or if any provider, why they take particular means this they can take as test cases. So if we have numbers like 1 to 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 1 crore, like that, right? So we cannot take at randomly. Here they predefinedly maintain test cases. So suppose in first test case they take numbers like this. So in second test case they might take numbers, one is 1 and second one is 1000, like that. They predefinedly develop their test cases according to those test cases, or against to those test cases. It means those test cases needs to be satisfying with our code. So coming to this code, first I will read these two input values like this. After that I will develop code. First I take another variable as x. In this variable I perform sum operation like this. So here you see this variable I did use, and after this value I will store in x variable. And coming to the next line, y equal to a minus b, and first number minus second number, and z equal to a asterisk b. A asterisk b means a multiply with b. I will directly print x like this. Here we no need to take this thing in print statement. We can directly store it in some variable, right? We can directly print on that variable, that is enough. And I will copy this and paste here and paste here, and simply I will change variable name. First I will read x, right? I did store sum operation value in x, right? So I'll give x in first line. So they ask us to maintain order also. In first line they specifically perform sum operation only, and second they perform difference. So this y value I will print in second line, and last final one is product. So I will take in this line as z. So I will try to run this code. So this code will run. So as discussed, in runtime we have less test cases comparing to the submit time test cases might be. So this code was successfully run while submitting our code also. And we need to remember one point, as I previously suggesting, we can write our code multiple ways. That code not restrict to one way to write code only like this, like that. That is not correct. So I will write code in different way. I will copy this, I will cut this, and I will place instead of this. I will explain why I am taking like this. paste here. Sorry, a hashtag b. So I will read this meaningless syntax because I removed, right? So this meaning, this is variable. We need to remember before equal to we can assume mostly 99% because sometimes before equal to may not be variable, mostly it is a variable. So a equal to input of, right? So whatever integer value we are giving at the time of running, that integer value will stored in a variable, and the same situation happens in the b value also. So I will read these two numbers and directly print without any double quotes in print statement. Like this, I following the subtraction, product, multiplication operations also. So I will try to submit this code whether it is executed or not. This is the another way to execute our program or develop our code. And one more thing is present, we can take syntax. This is the not mandatory to take syntax like this, and I will cut this here. I will take one by one, and I will remove this line also, and I will take a comma b equal to input of int input of. Here this means if suppose this is the text string value, we can directly write here as input of. So I will submit this code. So this also successfully submitted. The main idea was why I am saying different ways. We need to write our code different ways, then only we can understand how to write our code individually without taking anybody help. And also we can improve our capabilities to solve difficult level codes also. This is the main idea to for explaining the code in different ways. If any doubts, please ping in comment section. Thanks for supporting, and thank you all.